What's up, everyone? Welcome back to the channel, and if you are new here, please subscribe down below and check out some other videos on the channel. Today we are working on something that's a little bit out of the norm of what we've been working on lately, and we're going to be bringing you some wrap-up footage on the 64 Falcon that we've been working on for the last week. Super sweet car. We're going to get into the walk around on it here just in a second, and also driving it and the sounds of it, and it's just a badass build that we're wrapping up. So if you are returning and you're already a subscriber, thank you so much for coming back. And if you are new, make sure you smash the subscribe button. If you like what you see, give us a thumbs up and check out some other videos on the channel. But let's get into the Falcon. All right, guys, welcome back. We are doing this video a little bit different. We're going to kind of piece this together for you, try to make it as seamless as possible. But we did finish the Falcon up. It's getting picked up in the morning. We're going to drive it. You guys are going to see that here in just a second. But yesterday we did something a little bit different. We went out and about. They finally paved our parking lot. Let's show you that real quick because we are so freaking pumped. If you guys are local, we're having a open house season closer soon. And obviously, if you guys follow us on YouTube, you're more than welcome to come out. But check this out. We got fresh pavement finally. So they're going to be putting a new building in this area. So that's why that's not paved. So when we do the open house, we're obviously going to like stagger cars all the way down here. Maybe even like a road down the center if we have enough. And then there's a lot of paving over there. So we'll just avoid the gravel. We'll put like a food truck in the middle here. Maybe some tents for the guys who have shops here. We're going to ask them to all get involved. But we're going to start working on that, and we're really excited about it. So we're going to go drive this thing in the morning. We could not drive it today, and you guys will see that in the video, like I said. But yesterday we were out and about. We visited a couple good customers of ours, helped work on some of their cars. So you guys will see that after the Falcon. You'll see the Dream Garage, we're calling it, that our customer has of some wicked badass cars. So we did that, and then we also went, no footage included, went to the Mork family garage and worked on Brandon's black car to get it set up for MKE this weekend. We just did a sick rear end for him, but he put it in, and now that it's all straight, all the driveline angles changed for the control arms, and they went and sent it, and it did not go well. So we went there, squared the car up, replotted the whole back of it, and now we'll be there Saturday to make sure it goes well. So you guys will be seeing that, so make sure you tune in for that as well. So yeah, let's show you what turned out with the Falcon, what we did on it, and let's get into the video today. All right, so here is the Falcon that we've been working on for the last, I don't know, week and a half or so. It came to us needing only a couple things to finish it up, and we pretty much had to do like everything. So, yeah, I think I said a couple things like this. But we, well, me, I don't know, Dan, what's your opinion? You really like this car or not? You're so-so on it, or
coming around.
You like it?
In the beginning, you know, I mean, I don't know. The beginning when projects start like this, it's like kind of gets you down on it. We're like, oh, just a couple things. In reality, it's like there was nothing done.
Yeah.
You gotta do everything. The mindset was just, you know, thought it was gonna be further along, but now it's way better. You know, it's good now.
What do you think about the car itself, not the project?
I think it looks good. I mean, now look at the grills on it. Have they seen the grill on it now? Now the grills on it, it looks a lot better.
All right, let's dive into this 1964 Falcon. All right, so this thing came to us. It pretty much just had an engine and transmission in it and a trunk full of parts. Braking was supposed to be good. Everything was supposed to be good. All we were supposed to do was make it run. That turned into adding a relay panel. You guys saw that. We did a lot of that kind of stuff. Then obviously setting everything else up to work. But here is the finished product, and we're actually really digging it now.
Basically what it had was a motor and trans in it. That was pretty much it, and we did everything else after that.
Yeah. And allegedly the Blakes.
Pretty much every piece of the car.
Yeah.
Except for that going into the rear end.
Yeah, we didn't go into the rear end.
By the way. You're worried about that one.
Oh. So the engine bay turned out awesome. Now he's actually got two of these. He's got this one. He's got a Comet. And the engine bays are like night and day different. Like this one turned out super sweet. We're really happy with it. The Comet we've had nothing to do with yet. We had to do a lot of wiring. We eliminated a lot of the factory wiring per usual. It does have an alternator instead of a generator. And it has a new style starter that we put in it. So The wiring is simplified and cleaned up. There's nothing in here aside from the headlight harness and the charging and starter cables that go directly to the battery here. All right, so we don't have a starter relay or starter solenoid on here anymore, so you see a lot of 12-volt sources coming straight to the battery. Main reason is not only do we not have the starter solenoid, but we have 2 circuit breakers in line. One is for a painless box that we put in. Another one is to basically reroute the factory harness that was going to the the generator. What was that thing called?
So we got rid of that and this.
Yeah, so we deleted these 2 components. That one went there. This one went here. And then the generator would hook up to this and then distribute power to the car.
And this used to be, the headlight harness used to be lower down because the generator went above it. We relocated it up, so it's a little more out of eyesight.
Yeah, it looks good. And that's the engine bay. I mean, it turned out awesome. This is a 347 with a pretty wild camshaft, some custom ported heads, and it's pretty healthy. We're going to start it for you guys here in a second. And it sounds really good. Though what we have noticed is that we've been playing with the carb settings for the last few minutes, and when you put it in drive, it really lugs the engine down, and it's causing us to have a high idle in neutral and park. So it's kind of annoying, but we'll wait till it breaks in a little bit, see if we can maybe get a jet kit on order and kind of really fine-tune the air bleeds and make that not happen. But for now, to get some miles on it and so they can drive it, it's just going to have a high idle and park in neutral. It's just kind of a nature of the beast. It is a high RPM, ready to go. I mean, this thing should probably go 8,000 RPM in its sleep in a chassis that you would not expect when it's running. So we did that. We did the fuel system. We did the exhaust system. They had the headers on it already. You guys saw that we made X-pipe to Boiler Pro XS and turn downs. And of course it sounds wicked. Yeah, there was a broken bolt in the hood that required a lot of work to fix, so that got on. We assembled all the front. We had to do the fans. We had to do the wiring for the fans, coolant catch can. I mean, everything. There was a lot of work that went into this.
Remount the tire.
Yeah, one of the tires were backwards. This one's center cap's broken. We can't do anything about that. But it is... What's that?
It was only a little bit, ended up being the whole
Yeah.
shebang.
Yeah. Anytime someone says there's only a little bit left, there's a lot more than a little bit left. One of the last things that popped up on us is a heater core was leaking. So the heater core obviously tees off the water pump, goes to these lines, goes into the car, and that was leaking. So we, for now, temporarily bypassed the heater core and just tuck these lines over, because once we fix the heater core, or if he fixes the heater core, to be determined, they can just hook it right back up. So that was a last minute thing. So that required us to put a fan and the shotgun and tear the interior apart so we can dry the carpet out. Other than that, this thing is pretty much ready to rip, and we'll take you guys on a test drive in ZAM. So let's start it up. You guys can hear what it sounds like now, and then we will just fast forward to driving it tomorrow morning. Listen to that baby purr. Got fuel, temp is good. We're gonna probably end up putting an auxiliary oil pressure gauge and tachometer in here, just because it is a pretty wild engine. We don't want to not have some data monitoring. But you can hear it's idling high. It's probably idling like 1200 right now. But if I put it in gear, starts to sound real good. And anything less, it would try to die. But it feels good, I like it. What's up, guys? I want to give you guys an update on the Falcon lifters. We are working on getting the engine back together. We worked late last night getting the exhaust finished. You guys will see that a little bit later. But I wanted to just show you the lifters and why this thing wasn't getting oiled to the top of the engine. The owner had the previous engine owner call me and say, hey, you guys are maybe doing something wrong. You're priming it wrong way. Obviously, we put together a few small block Fords and a lot, even on the channel alone, but you have to really dig in to find the issue. You know, running the engine or priming it for hours is not going to be the solution. I mean, you should see something, at least one rocker arm. We even cautiously started it knowing that it wasn't getting oil for a few seconds just to see if a little bit of heat in the engine might move some assembly lube around, but we were very, we were not expecting that to work. Let's just put it that way. So I want to show you guys what we ended up finding. This is the lifter that was in the car. So if you see this lifter, this has a huge oil, I'm not really sure what it's used for. If you look in the top, which you might not be able to see on the camera, it's focusing well, but it's a little too dark. But there's nothing really in here. It's just a pocket for the lifter. There's no hole in the center or anything like that. There's no hole around the outside of this body anywhere. It's completely solid. This is one piece of steel. So let's look at the other one. These are the new lifters that I got. We've been using Howard's for our lifters. I'm pretty happy with their customer support, their guidance that they give us on what fits the application best, and we did decide to go with Howard's and the Lightning after the many lifter issues that we had with that. So I continued the trend with these Howard solid lifters. So this is a mechanical flat tappet lifter, just like this one is. This is a solid flat tappet lifter, also flat tappet lifter. So looking at this one, oiling hole right there in the center. So that is going to allow the oil to go from the oil passage, which this is sits and rides in, technically this way. So that's going to allow oil pressure to go through the lifter and go up through the push rod. Now once again, you probably can't see the inside, but there's an oiling hole right in the center there. That's going to allow oil to travel up through the push rod, which also has an oiling hole in it, and into the rocker arm. So when we prime the system now with these lifters in there, I fully expect to see oil in the top of the engine right away. Now I decided to go with these ones for another reason. When we started this car, it's a pretty wild camshaft 347. It sounds like it's got some compression. Questionably probably shouldn't be ran on 93 octane, but we don't know the details for sure. But this is supposed to prolong cab lobe life. Now obviously we like hydraulic lift rollers for everything because that's going to be the best, but this one has what they call an EDM hole in it. Let's see if we can get the camera to focus again. So that hole is also part of that same oiling chamber that goes to the push rod. So this thing is going to have oil pressure not only around the lifter and going into the push rod, but it will also have a constant stream of oil coming from the center of the lifter to ride on the cam lobe. So I kind of thought that was a cool idea. It was like extra $80 to get these versus the non-oiling ones. But since it's a street car and since it does have an aggressive cam profile, once again, Howard's recommended these ones. So they are a little bit longer, both in body and in what's called seat height, which is the distance from the flat tappet to where the push rod sits. So we will be measuring for push rod length next. I'm going to mock it up with the ones that were in it, although I do not think that these are going to be close. I think these were too long with the last ones, and now the body and seat height's a little bit longer. But I already have all the rest of them installed. This is the last one I have to put in because I wanted to show you guys. So I'm going to work on that, and then we'll measure push rod length and get those ordered. Anyway, that's the lifter issue that we had. All right, what's up guys? Welcome back to the channel, and today we're doing something a little bit different. They're actually paving at the shop, so we don't have a lot of in and out access to work there today. So one of our good customers, Mike, decided to use this opportunity to ask us to come to his shop and help with a couple small things he needs on a couple different cars. And we're not gonna spend a whole lot of time on what's here. You guys will see a lot of these cars on the channel. In fact, the 66 Vet that you saw belongs to him and his dad. So just give you guys a quick look at the setup they got here. It's super sick, and it's a dream garage, so we figured it'd be a good opportunity to show you guys what they have laying around. So let's start with, we'll save this one over here for last, but let's start with what we're working on first. So yeah, we'll start over here. So this is a, I don't know if I should say the name, but this is a replica of a movie car that's rather famous from Gone in 60 Seconds, and it is sweet. And one of the best parts of it, I actually like these better than Gears. Pro-charged 408. Cog-driven F1, straight nasty. Who needs that in one of these? They do. That's one. It is awesome. So, another shop built this car. They got a lot of work into it. There's going to be some odds and ends that it might show up at our shop this winter for. But for the most part, we're only here to fix a coolant leak that it had. And that's tidied up. That's good. We found it had a bad spark plug wire, so we got a set of those on order. But it's sweet. I mean, it's freaking beautiful. It's on R888s all the way around. That's a crowd favorite around here. T56 Magnum. Rear seats. Yeah, see, that looks nice. Oh, it's not mini tub though, is it? No, it's not.
It is.
It is? Yeah. But this thing is dope. We're going to come back in a couple days and test drive it, so we'll bring you guys along for that. So if you guys are local to us, you've probably seen this car before. This is the Mork family's old race car. Mike bought it, done a lot of work to it to make it a street car. It's got mufflers and a bunch of stuff it did not have in the past. We're not going to really do anything to that, although we are going to have a video test driving it for you guys because we are going to have it for sale on our page and on our channel. So if you guys are interested in a race car, it's ready to go, low eights, no problem, and drive it anywhere you want, for sale. Then this one we're going to be bringing to the shop pretty soon. You guys will see a full video on this. It needs some brake work, some transmission work, just overall freshening up. Mike's had this car since it had like 800 miles on it. So we're just going to revamp her. She's been sitting. It's got a built engine, VMP. It's got a worn posi. So we're just going to bring her back to life so we can go back to driving it every day. You can see it's just kind of been sitting. So we're going to get her dressed up for the ball. All right, last thing, then we're going to lunch. This right here, this is the, you know, if he doesn't have enough cool stuff already, this is the final one. What year is this? So this is a 2017 Viper GTS-R. I think there's only like 100 of these in existence currently. And, I mean, that's full race car. It's got so much freaking carbon on it. It's sick. This is all carbon. The whole front shell's carbon. I think the whole car's carbon, is it not?
Most of it.
Most of it. I mean, look at the brakes on that thing. Just sick. I'm gonna look inside. More carbon. Full spoilers carbon. So they really do have a dream garage here. We're honored to be able to come here and help them work on their cars, take care of their fleet. Like I said, you'll see some of their cars on the channel, and you've already seen the 66 full build on the channel. So we're gonna go to lunch, and we gotta take the grocery getter, unfortunately, because Dan's Ranger doesn't have room for 2 or 3. So we're just gonna take this thing. I've never been in one of these, so I'm really excited. But we'll bring you guys with on that. Holy shit, this thing is fucking wild. Damn!
That was fucking sweet.
That launch control is sick. You've driven this road a few times.
A couple. I like to think it's my own personal racetrack. It's my own personal road course, my own personal drag strip.
Yeah, I need one of these things. Alright, well, we're cruising around in the convertible Falcon. It's pretty sick. Sounds good. And, yeah, should be happy with it. Sounds like, it feels kind of like the carburetor probably needs some more jetting in it. But, you know, we won't really know until the engine's kind of broken in and everything's moving freely. But right now, it's pretty sick.